Chapter 4. The light came from a lamp at the end of the corridor. Outside it was night, no doubt. The guard, standing with legs apart, was examining him. This fellow is looking for some fun, thought Kastner. He had heard stories of prisoners who were made to walk on all fours. The guard took a step forward. Kastner was certain to meet either cruelty or the will to humiliate, and yet he could barely make out anything upon the man's features but the look of a slave buyer. He drew back a step to keep his distance, throwing his body forward and raising his left heel. If he speaks, he said to himself, I won't answer, but if he tries to touch me, I'll ram my head into his belly. We'll see what happens after that. The guard made no mistake. In the recoil of fear, the torso was held back, not forward. Something fell limply. Work, unravel, he said. The door closed. The very moment Kastner thought he was closest to suicide, reality had suffered to give him back his strength. Before, when the SA men had come into his cell, all fear had left him, in spite of the screams from the neighboring cells. He knew the world of insomnia and had been haunted by sensations of distress inexhaustibly reiterated, with an insect's precision. This was the world in which he was now struggling, and he could not expect to achieve a calm obviously beyond his reach, but he could perhaps count on his head and his fists being there, ready to strike. And he had forgotten the sense of touch so completely that he would have struck as a hungry man eats. He went over to the object that the guard had dropped and picked it up. It was a piece of rope. Could one not eat a rope well broiled? A rare slice of roast meat, beads of water forming on the decanters, anise and mint sherbets in the evening. By the trees! How many times had he been fed since he was here? Hunger subjected him to occasional sharp spasms of disgust. Work. It occurred to him that unraveling the rope would wear down his fingernails, and he thought of suicide returning to search for what it had forgotten. The metallic clicks of doors slammed shut followed one another in a rising scale in the dense black silence. No doubt the guards were distributing rope. Did the suicidal urge enter with the rope into all these holes at its appointed hour? The same for almost all, like despair and degradation, each coming at its appointed hour. Did not the waves of madness which had left Kastner drag his companions into their maelstrom, lower and lower, farther and farther from the men they were? Did they not grasp the rope? Did they not go mad before that Nazi rope, on finding that their sole gesture of liberty had been foreseen? That they were robbed of their death as they had been robbed of life? There were those who had been longer in the cells than he had, and the very young and the sick. In each cell there was a rope, and Kastner could do nothing more than strike the wall. Blow after blow, he hardly dared to listen, yet either he had lost his mind or something was answering, from the same direction as a while ago. While he listened with all his might, he was afraid to hear. Would not these knocks cease once more? Once already he had thought he heard the guard's step, and he had been mistaken. Hope itself was a form of suffering. Full of infinite patience, the patience of a prisoner, the invisible hand began again. 5, 2, 2, 6, 9, 10, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 6, 9. 9 was separated from 10 by a longer pause than 2 from 6. While he was knocking, Kastner had not sought the alphabet. That did not greatly matter, and the essential thing was that communication should be established. He was freeing his companion. He was freeing himself from nothingness as effectively by listening as by knocking. The groups of 2 figures, 2, 6, 1, 4, no doubt did not belong to a system of dividing the alphabet, since they were followed by isolated figures. They almost surely indicated numbers, 5, 2, 26, 9, 10. He had already forgotten the others. He knocked once more. Once more the neighbor answered, 5, 2, 26, 9, 10, 14, 14, 26, 9. Over and over again he tapped out the numbers until Kastner had repeated them. The latter was pressing his eyelids together with all his might till his temples ached, trying to visualize these figures in order. It was not in their names but in their signs that the key to their meaning lay. He felt like an insect squeezed in its hollow stone, avariciously contracting its legs over its accumulated wealth. Just as his fingers against his chest at this moment were contracted over those numbers. Which were tokens of friendship and which the weakness of the overexcitement of his memory might blot out like an awakening, hanging by some imperceptible and precarious thread in back of his eyes. They nevertheless flooded the darkness, flowed over him as though he should have to hold on to them to save himself. And his hands were repeatedly missing them. He tried all the keys, a figure added to the number of letters of the alphabet, or else subtracted. Multiplication, division of the alphabet into sections,